Welcome to Stories for Sleep, where science whispers like a lullaby, and nature becomes the soft blanket draped over your weary mind. Under the night sky, there are moments when we feel very small, swept up by anxieties, by the invisible noises that daily life leaves behind. But simply lifting your head, the silence of the cosmos opens before you, vast, gentle, and older than any sorrow you have ever known. There, each star is a story, each streak of light, a 1,000-year memory whispering to you. The most relaxing facts about the cosmos to fall asleep to is such a journey, a place where we set down all our burdens for a while, letting our ears, hearts, and minds travel through space. This video doesn't merely tell you about the universe. It helps you feel the peace the cosmos always carries within it, the breath of galaxies, the silence of the void, and secrets as light as stardust. You don't need to understand all the great laws. You only need to listen. Gentle scientific facts will pass slowly by, like slow-moving shooting stars across the night sky, bringing you closer to the quiet the soul always seeks. Please step into the universe and allow the universe itself to lull you to sleep. Imagine, before the story begins, you are standing in an utterly still darkness. No car noise, no daily worries, only your breathing, blending with the breath of space. And then, from within that darkness, a whisper comes. The universe is vaster than anything the human mind has ever dared to imagine. That sentence is like a door opening, inviting you into a world both overwhelming and tender. Because in the infinite vastness of the cosmos, we also find the peaceful smallness of ourselves, the thing that sometimes the busy world has taken from us. Since earliest times, humans have looked up at the sky and asked, how many stars are there up there? But that question, however beautiful, is almost impossible to answer, because the number of stars in the universe is greater than the number of grains of sand on every beach of Earth. Try to imagine that for a slow moment. You are standing on a beach at night, cool wind, waves lapping softly like the heartbeat of the planet. You bend down, scoop a handful of sand, just a tiny handful, and look at the tiny grains in your palm. Each grain of sand is already a small world. Then you think of the whole beach, then all the beaches on Earth, and finally, you are reminded that even all that sand together is not as many as the stars quietly burning in the ancient darkness of the universe. In that moment, the overwhelm doesn't make us afraid. It makes us let go of life's weariness, because something so vast, so beautiful, exists right above us, overhead every night. What the human eye sees when it looks up the sparkling pinpricks like cold gems is only the thin surface of an endless ocean of light. Our view is blocked by distance, by cosmic dust, by the limits of our senses. Meanwhile, in the farther dark, billions of galaxies are moving, exploding, forming, and vanishing. If the whole universe were a silent night, what we see would be only a few fireflies at the forest's edge. And the wonder is, even those fireflies are beautiful enough to make humans write poems, paint pictures, and dream for thousands of years. This reminds us, beauty does not come only from completeness. Sometimes a little sparkle is enough to soothe the heart. Earth is just a speck of dust in the solar system. The solar system is just a speck of dust in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is just one of an estimated more than 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each time we zoom out like that, we do not feel swallowed. Rather, we feel released, freed from the gravity of everyday anxieties. Sadness, anger, or disappointment suddenly feel as light as a breath, because we understand that they are only small ripples in a much larger ocean. This is the spirit of a science lullaby, Instead of making us feel so small we are paralyzed, the universe helps us feel small in a pleasant way. Small like a child, cradled in the wide arms of a kind mother. The universe is not still. It is expanding, silently, slowly, but never stopping. Galaxies are receding from one another, not because they are moving through space, but because the space between them is stretching like the breath of a giant organism. And what gives the listener a shiver of gentle wonder is, no one knows how far the universe will expand. Maybe forever, maybe until all the lights fade, or perhaps one day it will contract and begin a new cycle. But not knowing is not terrifying, it is like listening to a fairy tale without an ending, allowed to dream the rest in our own way. When the narrator says, we live in a universe older than 13 billion years, tens of billions of light years wide, containing countless galaxies, countless stars, countless undiscovered worlds, the listener does not feel burdened by knowledge, but cradled by a strange feeling. We live inside a wonder, and we are part of it. A shooting star streaks across the sky. Light from a distant star took millions of years to reach our eyes. A galaxy turns like an ancient dancer. None of this demands we understand it fully. They invite us to feel the beauty of existence. There are things larger than our sorrow, their emotions slower than our worries. There is a vast space, enough for all our emotions to relax. What we see is only a tiny bubble in an infinite ocean. In science, the observable universe is not the whole universe. It is only everything that light has had time to reach us with since the universe began. And light, though fast at 300,000 kilometers per second, is still limited by time. So, even though the universe is only 13.8 billion years old, the diameter of the part we can see spans 93 billion light years, a number so vast the mind cannot hold it, like a grain of sand trying to hold the ocean. But the important thing here is not the number, but the feeling. We are looking at a gigantic stage, but behind that curtain of light, there are countless rooms, countless corridors, countless worlds human eyes will never touch. The most distant stars we see today may have vanished billions of years ago. Their light has only now reached us, like late messages from the past. This turns the night sky into a gigantic tapestry of time. Each point of light is a story, an ending, a beginning, a funeral bell, or the moment a world was born. But beyond that wall of 93 billion years of light are places where light has not yet arrived. Places where the universe is still stretching out, faster than light can catch up. Science calls that the unobservable region, the frontier of wonder. Not because the universe must be infinite, but because we do not know where its edge lies. Imagine you are in a dark room with only a small lamp illuminating a circle on the floor. That circle is the observable universe. The rest, where light hasn't reached, extends infinitely in every direction. You don't know how large the room is. You don't know if there are walls. You don't know if anything lives beyond. In other words, the blindness of perception creates infinity. It is a gentle infinity like a darkness that is not frightening, only unlit. When people discovered the universe was expanding, they thought it was simply getting larger, but in truth, it swells multiplicatively. Space itself stretches, not that galaxies are flying away, but the floor of the universe is expanding. That means there are regions that will forever lie beyond our sight. There are galaxies from which we will never receive light. There are stories happening beyond the curtain that we can never know. The universe is not only larger than our imagination, it is larger than the imagination we can imagine. That sentence is light as wind, but opens a deep sense of liberation, because we realize we live in a house without a ceiling, walls, or frame. Only the sky stretches on forever. Being small does not mean being meaningless. On the contrary, in an unbounded universe, your existence is the greatest miracle. Among countless dark spaces, you are a self-aware spark. Among trillions of galaxies, you are breathing on a planet that loves, remembers, and dreams. Among the ancient silences of space, your voice, your breath, your heartbeat are the sounds of a miracle. Science cannot explain why consciousness arises. Your consciousness is where the universe acquires meaning. In life, we have so many finite things that worry us. Deadlines, work, age, responsibilities, plans to complete, memories that cannot be undone. But when we look at the 3 billion light-year space and know beyond it is the infinite, we suddenly understand a simple thing. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to solve everything in one night. The universe took billions of years to create the light you see tonight. You, too, can take a little time to breathe. You live in a tiny patch of the infinite, and that is enough. Because among all that vastness, 93 billion visible light years and countless invisible light years, what makes the story tender is not the numbers, but how they remind us to let go. Let go of the things that weigh you down. Let go of the whirlpools of anxiety with no escape. Let go of questions that don't yet need answers. Space is expanding, right now, as you hear these words. Like a great organism breathing, every second, every minute, every hour, the universe expands a little more. Space is not a still stage where everything happens. It is like a fabric that is being continuously stretched, and upon it, galaxies are dust particles stuck to that fabric. It's not that galaxies run away from each other. Rather, the backdrop on which they stand is swelling. This creates a very particular image. If you place two small dots on a balloon and then blow it up, the two dots move farther apart without moving themselves. Galaxies are the same, drifting apart, not because they fly, but because the space between them grows. And that expansion continues right as you breathe in, breathe out, relax. When people mention the Big Bang, many imagine a huge bomb exploding into an empty blackness. But as the narrator says, there was no space before the Big Bang, because the Big Bang created space itself. The Big Bang is not an explosion. There is no sound, no flash of light in a pre-existing space. It simply is. Space began to exist, and began to expand, and time began to flow. Before that, there was no before. No over there. No where. There is no beginning in the conventional sense. Only the beginning of beginning. The universe keeps memory, not in words, but in light. This ancient light, the cosmic microwave background radiation, or CMB, is the echo of the origin. It appeared when the universe was only 380,000 years old. It is described as a blanket of light wrapped around the cosmos, a faint remaining warmth from the earliest dawn, an extremely old soundtrack, but one that never turns off. That light has traveled through space for 13.8 billion years, and tonight, it still touches you. A simple yet profound image. You lying in bed, eyes half closed, and a beam of light that has voyaged billions of light years covers you like a thin veil. You don't need to understand all the physics to feel the sacredness of this. You are touching the history of the universe itself. The CMB is not only at one point, it fills the sky, surrounds Earth, floods every direction. This makes the universe like a great cathedral walls, built of primordial light, a dome stretched by time, and the floor made of expanding space. Science calls it the cosmic microwave background. but the narrator calls it by a softer name, the mark of dawn. If the Big Bang is the opening note, then you, right now, are a small note in the symphony that still rings. Strangely, in a universe expanding by the second, where ancient light still travels, where time is only a young flow, your presence is sweet and fragile, like a candle. But that fragility is beautiful because it is unique. When the universe was born, it left traces, clues that lead us back to the origin. And within each remaining warmth, there is a story we are about to enter. Like moving the music from a galactic prelude to a chapter about the first structures of the world where light, darkness, and space hesitated about where to stand. The majority of the universe is not what we see. A universe woven from darkness, from silence, from invisible things that nonetheless hold the whole structure of the world. Imagine you see a train running, but you can't see the tracks. Dark matter is that track, keeping galaxies from flying apart, gathering hundreds of billions of stars into perfect spirals, forming the skeletal framework of the entire universe. It makes up 85% of total matter, yet we have never seen it, touched it, or measured it directly. Stars rotate around galactic centers so fast that, if based only on visible matter, they would be flung into the cold of space. Yet, they do not fly away. They keep to their orbits, as if an enormous, invisible hand embraces the whole galaxy. What we don't see is what holds us together. Imagine, every galaxy, including the Milky Way, is surrounded by a vast halo made of dark matter. We live inside that halo. Earth spins within an invisible sea. But the strange thing is, dark matter does not shine. It does not give off heat. It does not interact with light. It does not spark. It does not collide like ordinary matter. It passes through everything like a gentle ghost. But its gravity is immensely strong, enough to turn a galaxy as one might twirl a leaf in the wind. A long silence is held, so the listener can absorb the beauty of that paradox. The early universe was almost entirely flat and smooth, with only tiny ripples of primordial radiation. No stars would form, no gas clouds would gather, no planets would condense. But dark matter, by its invisible gravity, pulled those tiny seeds together. It is like the soft soil into which seeds fall, the stage floor on which all light will be switched on, a hand placed gently on the world's shoulder saying, "Gather and become something." Without dark matter, the Big Bang would have been just a wave of expansion, then diluted forever into meaninglessness. We exist because of something we cannot see. The most beautiful image of dark matter is the 3D map science constructs. It looks like a colossal neural network, black threads stretching long, linking galaxies into clusters, chains, and cosmic superstructures. Like a star, not shining alone, but usually living in a family of millions of siblings. And dark matter is the thread knitting all those lights together. From afar, the universe looks like the brain of a giant organism. Bright points like neuron, conducting strands like synapses, dark expanses like quiet regions of consciousness. An image that makes the listener smile dreamily. Perhaps the universe has its own thoughts. Like we know, the wind is real, though we only see trees sway. Like we know gravity is real, though we never see it. Like we know love is real, though we can never hold it. Dark matter does not need to appear. It only needs to act. And it has acted on the scale of the entire universe. Sometimes, the most important things are those beyond sight. After the listener drifts through the invisible sea of dark matter, the voice leads them to a softer, lighter mystery, so delicate the mind cannot hold it tightly. If dark matter holds the structure together, there is another invisible thing, pushing it apart faster, farther, more intensely, every day. Oh, that is dark energy, the thing causing space to accelerate its expansion. A door opens into a longer, quieter night, where mysteries not only exist, but are blooming in each second as the listener sinks towards sleep. Sometimes, when looking at the night sky, we feel the universe is breathing. Stars shimmer like heartbeats, galaxies spin like cosmic blood flows, and the surrounding space seems never still for a second. But beneath that calm lies a force more mysterious than anything humanity has known. A force unseen, untouchable, unlit, unreflective, yet shaping the fate of the entire cosmos. That is dark energy, a notion both poetic and terrifying, both soft and overwhelmingly absolute, like wind blowing through fields of stars. The story begins with something contrary to intuition. Everyone thought the universe after the Big Bang was like an explosion. The initial blast pushes matter outward, then gravity would pull everything back, causing expansion to slow. But scientists observed something strange. Galaxies not only continue to recede, their speed is accelerating. Imagine you throw a stone upward. It should slow down and fall, but instead of slowing, it accelerates upward forever. What is pushing the universe apart like that? No one knows, and that unknown is given the gentle name dark energy. When measuring the total energy mass content of the universe, scientists found that only 5% is what we are familiar with. Stars, planets, people, atoms, light. 25% is dark matter invisible, but with gravity. And the remaining 70%, the largest share, is dark energy. That means everything we have ever known occupies only a very small part of reality. The universe is mostly governed by something we cannot measure, cannot explain, cannot reproduce in a lab. Dark energy is like an invisible river, flooding everywhere, seeping into space like fog into a forest. It does not shove violently, does not erupt, does not make noise. It simply expands the universe, slowly, steadily, silently. A silence sufficient to change the fate of all the shining stars. The expansion of the universe is not like galaxies moving away in space. Space itself expands. Imagine you draw tiny dots on a balloon. When you blow it up, the distances between the dots increase not because the dots move, but because the rubber sheet stretches. The universe is the same. When dark energy makes space expand faster, everything inside is carried along. Galaxies do not go, they are carried, like leaves on a pond, drifting as the surface spreads. That image is very gentle, very meditative. The universe is not tense or hurried. It only expands, light as breathing. No one knows what dark energy is, but science offers several hypotheses, each beautiful in its own way, like modern physical myths. Hypothesis 1. Vacuum energy. Even in empty space, tiny quantum fluctuations appear and vanish. Perhaps the energy of that nothing creates a pushing force. Hypothesis 2. An invisible energy field. There may be a field permeating the universe like wind rushing across a field, but a wind of space. Hypothesis 3. The cosmological constant. Einstein once proposed that space itself has a tendency to expand. Later, he thought he was wrong, but perhaps he was right. Hypothesis 4. The multiverse. Maybe our universe's expansion is just one branch among infinite branches, a bubble in an endless ocean. No hypothesis is proved. No hypothesis is excluded. The universe, as always, keeps its secrets like an unread poem. The most frightening and most beautiful thing is that dark energy is the factor deciding the fate of the cosmos for the coming trillions of years. If dark energy remains constant, the universe will continue to expand forever. Stars will gradually go out. Space will grow colder and darker. If it accelerates strongly, the universe might be torn apart in the distant future, the Big Rip. If it weakens, the universe might stop expanding or collapse. But all are vague possibilities. No one knows what will happen. The only certainty is dark energy leads the way, silently and remotely. There is something very human about dark energy. We live among unseen things, unnamed feelings, formless memories, intuition-born decision, dreams we don't yet understand. Our body is only 5% visible. 90% is mysterious processes happening silently. The universe is the same. What we see with the eye is only the surface, while the portion determining destiny lies in invisible flows. In a way, dark energy is like the deepest stillness inside each person unseen, yet making everything. If dark matter is the hands that keep galaxies from dissolving, then dark energy is the breeze making the whole house of the universe expand, grow, and drift away. Two opposing forces, yet harmonious, like inhalation and exhalation, like the beat and rest of the heart. And from there, the narrator gently leads us to the next chapter, where other cosmic mysteries open like endless doors. Dark energy has no voice. It is silent to the absolute. But that silence defines the universe's shape, just as rests in music create melody. The universe expands, softly like a breath that never ceases. And in that breath, we also expand. The mind opens, fear dissolves, and sleep comes like a door opening into the deepest void of oneself. And there are other silent guests, travelers of the cosmos, so light they are nearly nil, yet they pass through you right now. Those are neutrinos. Perhaps nothing in the universe is as humble and surreal as neutrinos. They do not shine. They have no charge. They leave no trace. They barely interact with anything. And yet, every second, about 65 billion neutrinos pass through each square centimeter of your body. They pass through you, like wind through a net, like moonlight through water. No one feels anything. No one hears anything. No one knows they have just collided with the universe's most ancient particles. Because neutrinos go through everything, through skin, through bone, through earth, through its molten core, and then onward, again and again, almost forever. They are like ungraspable memories, like the breath of the universe passing without leaving a word. Neutrinos come from everywhere, but two main sources dominate: the sun's core and supernovae exploding at the edges of the universe. This creates a beautiful paradox. You lie still in bed, but every second, your body is being watered by a neutrino rain from distant stars, as if the universe is touching you with billions of invisible fingers. Each neutrino is a voyager, a particle born in fire, but living in absolute silence. When a star explodes, 99% of its energy is not emitted as light, but as neutrinos. Light does not tell the full story, but neutrinos tell the whole story. If light is the voice of the universe, then neutrinos are the size we have never heard. A neutrino's mass is so tiny that science still has not precisely measured it. The question, how heavy is it, remains one of the greatest mysteries of modern physics. But their number is undeniable. There are about 100,000 trillion neutrinos in the universe. That number is even greater than the number of stars. The dark universe is not only woven by dark matter, but also by the silent presence of neutrinos, particles created at the dawn, still traveling, and perhaps will travel until the universe breathes its last. Neutrinos are an arrogant enigma, without charge, non-interacting, unstoppable, refusing to let science see them. They pass through every detector. They refuse to reveal their true origin. They change form mid-journey, like souls changing robes. Neutrinos have three flavors: electron, muon, and tau. But strangely, they change flavor while flying. No one understands why. No one knows how many times they will transform before ending their journey. Science calls that neutrino oscillation. For the storyteller, it is like the universe's consciousness changing color in each moment, like a dream rewriting itself. There are neutrinos passing through you now that were born before the sun existed. They come from dead stars, galaxies that have dissolved, worlds no longer shaped, or from the universe's very first moment, when time had just opened its eyes. Neutrinos originating from the Big Bang still exist. They pass through everything. They are the oldest physical history we can touch, though we cannot touch them. And so, even when you feel small, swept by the concerns of a long day, the universe still sends you billions of invisible messages from the 13.8 billion year past. If we could see neutrinos, the night sky would blaze like an endless meteor shower, not falling from above, but passing through everything. They come from all directions, down from above, up from below, from the edge of the universe, and from the Earth's very core. Your quiet night is actually taking place amid a particle storm, coming from places beyond imagination. But it is the gentlest storm in the universe, a storm you will never feel, yet it still rocks you to sleep. Though born from the most violent explosions, neutrinos are the meekest travelers. No one knows everything about them, but their silence makes them as beautiful as poems of physics. They remind us, not everything powerful must be loud. Not everything great must be seen. Not every real thing must touch us. Some things exist by pure presence, and neutrinos are one of them. Right now, the universe is passing through you, light as wind, thin as moonlight, silent as sleeping memories. Neutrinos do not break, do not disturb, do not harm. They just drift, like the invisible flow of time, like the breath of stars, like a reminder that you, yourself, are directly connected to the vast universe, even if you have not opened your eyes to the night sky. And as you begin to fall asleep, neutrinos continue on, light as stardust, peaceful like moonlight, falling on water. The universe never stops touching you, only that you have never felt it until this moment. After guiding us through neutrinos, ghostly particles passing through the body like wind across water, the narrator opens a door deeper into the dark but boundless portions of the universe. There, not light nor bright matter, but invisible forces keep structures from dissolving. Among those silent powers, cosmic magnetic fields emerge like a giant living vein, threading through places humans have not yet named. Cosmic magnetic fields do not glow, they do not reflect, they do not shimmer, but they are present everywhere, like a deep inhalation of space. They stretch thousands, even millions of light years, woven into thin but enduring strands, connecting gas clouds, nebulae, and the cold void between galaxies. If humans could see magnetic fields like colors, the night sky would not be dark. It would brighten with soft curves, twisting into spirals like the universe's flowing hair. Those endless field lines flow through space like invisible water, curling around galaxies, forming a network that matter must follow. Magnetic fields are not noisy, not stormy, but persistent as a slow hand, patiently adjusting every motion. Magnetic fields keep order in giant gas clouds, helping them condense to form stars. Shape material flows in nebulae, bend the paths of charged particles, creating auroras and plasma streams, stabilize galactic structures, so spiral arms do not disintegrate into chaos. Space, seemingly wide and empty, is in fact supported by a net of invisible forces like tendons, like veins, like nerves in a living body. In the Milky Way, magnetic fields extend tens of thousands of light years, following the galaxy's spiral shape. Each bright arm of the galaxy does not float alone. It is lifted, held, guided by delicate galactic magnetic fields, thin silk ribbons, stretched between darkness, trembling with stellar motion, soft as a breath, but strong as the history of the cosmos. We often think of cosmic dust as meaningless tiny particles, but they, the specks, are the paintbrush that allows us to perceive magnetic fields. When light passes through dust, it becomes polarized along the field direction. And so, thanks to particles smaller than pollen, humans can see the outline of the invisible. Thus, the night sky, if seen through the eyes of science, would not only be black and starry, it would be a living map, where magnetic field lines curve like choreography, reflecting the ancient breaths of the universe, like an ink-wash painting, where soft, thin lines determine the whole scene. Cosmic magnetic fields draw the shapes of galaxies, nebulae, and million-degree gas storms. In regions of gas heated to millions of degrees, where plasma swirls more violently than any storm on Earth, it is the magnetic field that directs the dance. It suppresses eruptions, holds plasma in rings, as beautiful as solar flares, creates perfect curves on the surfaces of young stars, makes matter move to its own gentle rhythm. All those storms appearing chaotic depend on magnetic flows, threads as thin as string but as strong as red-hot metal. In the universe, the weakest things sometimes wield the greatest power. If dark matter is the black cloak draped over the universe, then magnetic fields are the silent stitches sewing that cloak together, where galaxies drift along invisible threads like schools of fish through an endless ocean. As the gentle journey through the invisible world of the universe winds down after dark matter, dark energy, neutrinos quietly passing through our bodies like a breeze, the narrator guides us a step deeper. Now the audience is accustomed to the feeling the universe is not only wide, but soft, breathing, moving like a giant organism. And from that quiet background, a new image slowly appears, not a planet or a star, but the backbone of the entire cosmos. A colossal structure, breathtakingly beautiful and so incredible that modern science has only just touched the edge of the truth. That is the cosmic web. Imagine we look down on an infinite ocean, but instead of water, the whole space is woven with delicate threads of light. Each filament stretches millions, tens of millions of light years. They connect, not, forming bright regions where galaxies gather, then spread like roots, like blood vessels, like veins running slowly beneath the skin of the universe. To the human eye, this is invisible. But to telescopes, especially those detecting heat, surveying hydrogen gas or light from distant galaxies, the universe reveals itself as a mysterious web, long, dense filaments, where dark matter and hydrogen gas concentrate. Bright nodes, galaxy cities, where thousands of galaxies cluster in a small region. Vast voids, cosmic voids, large enough to contain millions of galaxies, yet almost empty. The beauty of the cosmic web lies not in a single shape, but in how the entire universe connects like a nervous system of space-time. And strangely, The models science builds to simulate this web, when placed next to images of neuronal networks in the human brain, are almost uncannily similar, as if the universe is a thinking brain, or all brains are born from the deep structure of the cosmos. Galaxies, including the Milky Way, do not stand still, but drift quietly, relentlessly along the flows of the cosmos. Imagine each galaxy as a boat drifting on a river. But those rivers are not water. They are flows of space, pulled by the gravity of dark matter and dark energy. When telescopes record the motion of hundreds of thousands of galaxies, they find they do not move randomly, but flow along long, thin paths, filaments like fish, swimming with the gentle current in a deep ocean. Our Milky Way lies on a small branch of this web, flowing minute by minute along the river Laniakea, the supercluster that contains us. Every motion, every echo of light, every pulling force moves harmoniously within that structure. When we look at one galaxy, we only see a leaf. But when we look at the web, we see the forest. Science finds that every node, places where many galaxies gather, are like the hearts of the web. Filaments are the arteries connecting them. Voids are the lung cavities that inflate and deflate with the rhythm of space's expansion. Each part has a role. Without filaments, galaxies would never form. Without nodes, matter would never condense into stars. Without voids, the universe could not expand smoothly. Everything needs everything, a grand harmony beyond any scale humans had imagined. A heartbeat spanning billions of light years. Only 5% is what we see. Stars, galaxies, gas, dust. The rest is dark matter, forming the invisible skeleton. Dark energy, deciding expansion and overall shape. Magnetic fields, invisible streams, guiding gas and plasma. Neutrinos, ghostly particles riding along the web. The whole universe is not chaos. It is art. A finely woven fabric, where each stitch is millions of light years. And we, a small creature in a small galaxy, have the capacity to see and comprehend this structure, even if only partially. When we look at the web structure, we see connection, refinement, balance between emptiness and convergence, flow and rhythm. Strangely, all those things are true for the human mind as well. Neurons in the brain also connect into networks, forming loops, pathways, convergence nodes, where memories, emotions, and thoughts form. Maybe we love the universe, because deep in our own structure, we are created according to the same pattern. M, a place where the universe knows how to sing. Ancient vibrations, the whispers of black holes, the drumbeats of gravitational waves, the symphonies of stars breathing. When the story of the cosmic web slowly unfolds, where galaxies cling to filaments, like droplets of light suspended on a black cloth, the narrator gently leads the listener one beat deeper, as if opening a door to a new level of contemplation. And then, in the quiet of space, a strange detail appears. Between those bright strands are enormous empty regions. Not empty in the sense of absence, but empty in the sense of a vastness so great the human imagination struggles to touch it. Those voids are described as the long size of the universe, containing few stars, no dense galaxies, no bursts of light. They are the quietest rooms of the cosmos, where any ray of light or speck of dust becomes beautifully solitary. If filaments are the backbone of the universe, then voids are the pauses, the silent gaps between the cosmic symphony. They extend tens, even hundreds of millions of light years, so vast that if humans traveled at the speed of light, it would take hundreds of millions of years to cross just a small portion of one void. That idea is gentle, but it makes the listener involuntarily shrink, as if recognizing the smallness of the familiar world. Voids are not brilliant, not violent, but their absolute quiet gives them a rare beauty, like the silence of a winter night when you can only hear your own heartbeat. A few lonely galaxies, drifting like boats lost on a night sea. A few thin streams of cold gas, fainter than the dark. Ripples of gravitational fields so slight they are nearly immeasurable. Space seems empty, but is actually moving silently, so gently that only the patience of billions of years can reveal it. Just like the human inner self, sometimes we think ourselves empty, but beneath is motion hard to name memories, emotions, hopes, flowing very slowly, very deep. While filaments are where matter gathers into bright structures, voids are where the universe relaxes. Like a night surface, inflated yet soft, those voids contrast with dense star avenues. Thanks to voids, filaments become sharper. Galaxies distribute into grand shapes like spiderwebs, arcs, or gentle twist knots. Voids are not an absence of life, but a balancing piece in the universe's architecture, like the pause between two breaths. When there is less matter, less light, fewer collisions, time inside voids seems to lengthen a bit. Physical processes occur more slowly. Any galaxies present drift more gently. No pressure, no case, no hot swirling gas. Thus, voids become the perfect metaphor for rest, a place where the universe gives itself a moment to stop. In the lullaby rhythm of the narration, the listener senses that if there were a place suitable to sleep in the whole cosmos, it would be these voids, where darkness is as soft as velvet and space wide as a boundaryless dream. When observing those vast, empty regions, scientists unconsciously realize it turns out the majority of the universe is not the bright things, but the silences. Just like human life, we remember not the noise most, but the silences that rescued us from exhaustion. We grow not only from what we do, but from what we stop. Voids become symbols of delicate emptiness. Inside each person, those quiet spaces we rarely let ourselves touch, yet which are more important than anything. Even in the utmost emptiness, the universe still nurtures its own structure, meaning, and rhythm. From here, the journey will drift gently into the next part, where subtle motions, thin gas streams, and tiny vibrations continue to paint the picture of a living universe, even if most of it we cannot see with naked eyes. In the universe, galaxies do not drift alone like small boats on a night lake. They prefer to gather sometimes hundreds, even thousands at once. Those gatherings are called galaxy clusters. Each cluster is a vast city of light, tens of millions of light years wide, where each point is a galaxy with billions of stars. You can imagine, if each galaxy is a breath, then galaxy clusters are the lungs of the universe, expanding, contracting, and keeping the entire web of light alive. In galaxy clusters, streams of gas hotter than stellar cores mingle with ancient radiation. Galaxies orbit each other so slowly that a single revolution can take billions of years. Yet within that slowness, there is a deep softness, like the motion of giant clouds the naked eye cannot see in real time. Galaxy clusters are a testament to patience. They exist for billions of years, as if knowing that in the universe, nothing needs to hurry. When filaments meet, they form a knot. But calling it a knot is not enough. They are like intersections of thousands of roads of light. Here, matter is drawn from all directions, slowly and persistently, like rivers flowing into the sea. A galaxy cluster is more than a dwelling of light. It is where gravity is engraved into space, creating invisible valleys. Galaxies fall into them, orbit each other like planets around a sun, and together form continents of light. From a distance, the whole structure looks like a delicate lace, each mesh an individual galaxy, each knot a galaxy cluster. All are woven together by threads of time. What you see is only the shadow. What truly holds it all together is what you cannot see. Dark matter, invisible matter, is the mysterious component that accounts for most of the mass of the universe. It does not shine, reflect, or absorb light. We cannot touch, see, or hold it with any instrument, but we see its presence by how it bends space, pulls light closer, and creates gravitational landscapes that galaxies must obey. In the narrator's imagination, dark matter is like the foundation of a city. We do not notice it when walking the streets or admiring bright buildings, but without it, everything would collapse. Galaxy clusters are living evidence of this. Most of their gravity does not come from stars but from dark matter, which accounts for about 80% of their mass. Without dark matter, galaxies in the cluster would be flung outward. Filaments would never form. The cosmic web would never appear. Dark matter, literally, is the spine of the universe. One of the most beautiful phenomena in the universe occurs right within galaxy clusters: gravitational lensing. Light from a distant galaxy passing through a cluster is bent like water flowing around a stone. The result is, sometimes we see multiple images of the same galaxy. Sometimes light stretches into perfect rings, like the rings of an ancient god. Sometimes light is pulled into long streaks, like a dream blown off course by wind. And the greatest miracle is, all those breathtaking phenomena are created by something we cannot see. Dark matter has never spoken, never revealed itself, yet light must obey it. Like a philosophy of the cosmos, the invisible things are the most powerful. When stepping back far enough, we no longer see individual galaxies, filaments, or knots. We see only a vague web of light, like the neural network in the human brain. The universe is not just where we live. It is an organism, a mind stretching infinitely. And sometimes, looking at its structure is like looking at ourselves. Before the first star, the universe was merely a dark ocean growing. Right after the moment where existing equations fail, moment zero of the Big Bang, the universe entered a strange phase humans simply call inflation. But the word inflation is too small to describe the truth. In a fraction of a second, unimaginably tiny, space expanded faster than the speed of light many times over. It is not that objects moved faster than light, but that space itself stretched, like a sheet of paper silently pulled taut. No explosions, no flashes, only speed, expansion, and a form of energy science has not yet fully understood. That expansion is like the first breath of a newborn, but on a cosmic scale, a breath so strong it pushed every point of matter apart, flattened space-time, and created microfolds that later became galaxies, stars, planets, and life. Everything you see, the starry sky, the Milky Way, yourself, all began from tiny fluctuations in this sea of energy. When inflation ended, the universe cooled, and a surprising thing happened. There was no light. For hundreds of thousands of years, the universe was a dense cloud of protons, electrons, and energy, a mixture too hot for light to escape. Photons were trapped, bouncing around like an unawakened dream. That was an era where the universe was like an unawakened mind, energetic, moving, but without shape or light to tell a story. Everything was blurred. No stars, no galaxies, no light, only potential, what would become everything we know today. Then, a magical moment arrived. 380,000 years after the Big Bang, a gentle touch between physics and destiny. The universe's temperature fell enough for protons and electrons to combine into hydrogen atoms, and when that happened, light was finally released. It escaped, spread, and traveled through space like the first sigh of relief. That is the cosmic microwave background, CMB, the oldest, most ancient, and gentlest light the universe has ever created. Today, it still flows through your body every second, like a message from the dawn. If you could hear it, you would hear the very faint breathing of time. Though light had appeared, the universe still had no stars, nor galaxies, only a softer darkness, lit by the dim, even glow of the CMB. The universe, then, was like dawn light existed, but the sun had not yet risen. Gradually, slightly denser regions began to collapse under gravity. Gas clouds gathered, spun, heated, and something that had never before happened in cosmic history began. When hydrogen was compressed so tightly, it could not hold. Nuclear reactions ignited. For the first time in 100 million years of the universe's history, real light starlight flared up. The first stars were unlike stars today. They were enormous, hot, bluish, white, and 1,000,000 times brighter than the Sunday. They lived fast, died young, and exploded so violently that those explosions forged carbon, oxygen, iron, gold, and the heavy elements needed for life. The universe made light, and from that light it made life. When stars grouped, gravity gathered them into larger structures, galaxies. The first galaxies were small, chaotic specks of light. Over billions of years, they collided, merged, twisted, and became spiral galaxies, as beautiful as flowers, including the Milky Way, our home. Each galaxy is a story, each star a chapter, and each planet a line in the cosmic epic. From darkness came light, and from light, everything we know began to emerge. But the universe holds even deeper things: extreme worlds, ghostly particles, invisible forces holding up the sky. We will continue to venture into them gently, one beat at a time. After the superfast inflation, where space stretched faster than light, where matter, energy, and quantum fields swirled in a chaotic dance, the universe began to cool. From trillions of degrees down to mere thousands, a new moment opened, calmer, more ordered, like when a newborn stops crying and drifts into its first sleep. That moment was 380,000 years after the Big Bang, a moment we beings living 13+ billion years later can still perceive with the eyes of science, a relic of light, a childhood portrait of the universe. This is when light was free for the first time. Before that moment, the universe was a thick fog of protons, electrons, and photons. Light could not travel far. Every step, every oscillation of a photon was blocked, scattered, absorbed like trying to shine a flashlight through a dense fog. The universe, then, was not transparent. It was murky, hot, noisy, and constantly colliding. But when the temperature fell to around 3000 Kelvin, a miracle happened. Electrons bound to protons, neutral hydrogenatoms formed, and a primordial fog thinned. At that instant, light was set free. The photons that had been captive for hundreds of thousands of years in the plasma sea began to drift, light as breath, escaping the chaotic world and flying into infinite space. They flew and never stopped. The CMB is not an exotic phenomenon. It is not a bright or dazzling light like a star. It is an old, cold, gentle light that has expanded for 13.8 billion years, shifting from red to microwave. If you tune an old radio to an empty frequency, parts of the white noise you hear are the echoes of the primordial universe. That makes the viewer suddenly feel very small and very lucky to be able to hear the whisper of the moment the universe opened its eyes for the first time. A little known detail: Before the CMB existed, there was no darkness. Not the kind of darkness we are used to. Space then was ablaze with hot plasma. But when atoms formed and photons escaped, the universe suddenly became dark. The first night, vast as an ocean never seen before. In that newly born darkness, countless possibilities began to germinate. From then on, the universe truly had room for silence, for structure, for a future. Darkness is not the end. It is the stage for new light to sprout. The CMB is not only the oldest light, it is the universe's first map. The bright and dark spots on it are not random. They are slightly denser regions, slightly rarer regions, differences of only 1 part in 100,000. But those tiny differences became galaxies, stars, planets, Egyptian pyramids, oceans, the Amazon rainforest, and human beings. A gentle truth, almost like a poem. If there were no small ripples in the CMB, the universe would never have had us. And without the CMB, we could not know the universe's age, the shape of space, the density of dark matter, the early expansion rate, the formation of cosmic structure, and the future of everything. The CMB is like the birth certificate of the universe, old but indispensable. One strange thing, the CMB is everywhere. In your bedroom, in the space between stars, even around your body. It is the ancient light still floating throughout the cosmos, like delicate stardust on everything. When you lie down and close your eyes, the space around you, wherever you are, still contains photons, 13.8 billion years old, passing through your skin, through the air, through your roof. As gentle as a breath, they are the memory of the dawn. And from that primal light from the universe's first breath, the video will gradually lead the listener into the formation of the first stars, the first galaxies, and the first structures that began to shine in the vast darkness. The birth of the first stars, the first brilliant lights in the young darkness of the universe. After the layers of early obscurity, when the universe was only a dark ocean of hydrogen, helium, and dark matter, the story begins to move gently, like a child's first breath. The narrator lowers the voice, timbre deeper, inviting the listener to rest their head into the distant sky. And then, after hundreds of millions of years of silence, the first miracle happened. And that is the cosmic dawn, the moment pure darkness was cut by a sliver of primordial light. Not a gentle beam like the sun we know, but colossal torches, the first stars, population 3, igniting brilliantly in the primordial void. They were hundreds, thousands of times the sun's mass, so bright that from far away they pierced the murky space like enormous pillars of fire suspended in the void. After inflation, after 380,000 years for photons to be freed and become the CMB, the universe still lay in prolonged darkness, an era without light. No star, no galaxy, no color. Only gas, cooling, slowing, and wholly dominated by the subtle distribution of dark matter in space. And in those invisible gravitational valleys, gas clouds began to fragment. Primitive hydrogen particles collided, clumped, and collapsed. Denser regions became cradles of light. There, like a breath released after a long, suffocating moment, the first star appeared. The first stars. The eruption of primordial light. They were torches of the origin. So huge their lifetimes were as brief as commas in the universe's story. Only a few million years a blink compared to a galaxy's age. Yet they managed to light up the universe, tear apart the fog of neutral hydrogen, melt the first elements, creating carbon, oxygen, iron, the things that would later become mountains, oceans, and life. seed galaxies so larger structures could form later. Their arrival was the moment the universe, after a long sleep in darkness, decided to open its eyes. That was the first time in history that darkness was no longer absolute. And so, like a chain reaction, light spread everywhere. The primordial black wall began to tear under thousands, then millions of stars. The universe shifted from a cold winter night into a dawn gradually warming. Not long after the first stars lit the sky, they gathered following dark matter's guidance, forming the first small galaxies. They drifted in darkness, tiny and fragile, but they were the foundation upon which later huge spiral galaxies would form. Imagine tiny specks of light finding one another in an infinite sea of darkness, becoming islands of light in a black ocean. The universe began to take shape. Small groups of stars merged together, galaxies collided and swallowed one another. Streams of gas swirled to create the first rotations. Cosmic dawn was not just light, it was shape, motion, structure, rhythm. From cold chaos, the universe entered an era of creation. The most beautiful thing came from loss. The first stars, too large to live long, exploded in violent supernovae. Heavy metal clouds filled space, becoming the material to create second-generation stars more stable, rocky planets, the first organic molecules, and finally, life. At this moment, the narrator blends two seemingly opposite things, death and life, into a continuous emotional line. When the first stars vanished, they left behind in the dark the metals that would become the blood in your veins, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen in every breath. The universe did not create life by intention, only by natural laws. But the beauty is that those laws cause everything to connect like chapters in a scripture. The cosmic dawn did not arrive in an instant, but extended over hundreds of millions of years. But it is that slowness that made it the most beautiful phase. From endless darkness, the first rays of light. From chaotic gas structures with order. From absolute simplicity, the first complexity. Dry facts suddenly take on the hue of poetry when told in a slow, low cadence, sinking into the listener's ear like a stream through the night. In every ray of light you see in the night sky, perhaps crossing billions of years, is the memory of the first stars. When you close your eyes, you are listening to the universe's childhood. The universe of the dawn ceases to be just a scientific concept. It becomes a bedtime story to lull the viewer to sleep, a sleep as gentle as the first light born after the infinite night. We have passed through cosmic inflation, a phase where everything stretched faster than the speed of light. We have witnessed the moment photons separated from matter, leaving the CMB that blankets the cosmos like the warmth of first light. And now, the journey leads us to the most majestic, yet quiet moment of the entire 13.8 billion years of existence. The moment the universe began to form shape. In absolute darkness, where no star had ever existed, the early universe was merely a cold sea of hydrogen, helium floating, and the darkness of dark matter. No color, no bright points, no surfaces to reflect light, but in a very natural, almost meditative way, gravity began to gather small clumps of matter together. Not by an explosion, not by a grand impulse, but by the slow congregation of time. Dark matter, invisible but gravitational, created invisible molds, slight dips in space like valleys inviting gas and dust to fall. Hydrogen poured toward those valleys, twisted, condensed, heated, and then the first galaxies appeared, not spiral galaxies flamboyant, like our Milky Way, but small, crude, dense galaxies overflowing with hot gas. They were like faint spots in an infinite ocean. but they were the foundation for everything to come. Large galaxies, brilliant stars, planets, seas, and finally life. Galaxies became cradles, and within them, matter continued to fall into gas clouds. The result was the universe's first stars, population 3, beginning to shine. But they were not like the stars we know today. They were larger, hotter, brighter, and shorter-lived than any star existing now. They burned so fiercely they lit their surroundings, waking the universe from a long sleep hundreds of millions of years after the Big Bang. The presence of those first stars was like the first lamp switched on in a boundless dark room, and it was their brilliant deaths that changed everything. The first stars lived very fast, not billions of years like the Sunday, but only a few million years, a blink of the universe. When their fuel ran out, they exploded in supernovae, so powerful they shook space around them. In that exploding moment, where pressure and temperature reached unimaginable levels, the first heavy elements were born. Carbon, the element of life; oxygen, the element of breath; nitrogen, the element of DNA; iron, the heart of rocky planets; and dozens of other elements. These materials were hurled into space, sowing seeds for all that followed. Without the first stars, if they had not ended, there would be no Earth, no oceans, no forests, no breath, no story here. We quite literally were born from a star's remains. That makes each person's existence a strangely tender miracle. After the first stars scattered heavy elements, subsequent generations of stars began to form smaller, steadier, more varied. Small galaxies merged with small galaxies, forming larger galaxies. Large galaxies merged with larger ones. The entire universe is a flow of mergers, streams of gas swirling into one another, bands of stars interweaving, soft collisions across billion-year timescales. A galaxy is not a static object. It is a living stream, always changing, moving, always swallowing and emitting. And in those galaxies, trillions of stars sing their own songs, lasting across tens of billions of years. As second and third generation stars form, the amount of heavy elements in the universe becomes sufficient to form more complex structures. From swirling gas clouds around young stars, small dust grains cohere, become rocks, then larger bodies, and ultimately planets. From elements forged in supernovae, carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron, planets like Earth are born. A planet is a sculpture, slowly shaped by time. From dust to rock, from rock to world, from world to life. And life, as the narrator will whisper, is but the light of dead stars, stepping into a new chapter. The most beautiful thing in this chapter is not the scientific information. It is the peace that lies beneath it. The universe is not in a hurry. It does not scramble. It is not impulsive. It makes stars, then lets them die. It forms galaxies, then lets them collide. It forges heavy elements, then lets them become planets and life. All of it runs to a soft rhythm, like the invisible breath of space. And every time we lift our eyes to the sky, we are looking at the remnants of billions of stellar hearts that once beat. When the first stars exploded, they did more than light up space. They laid the foundation for the beauty you live in today. Every atom in your body, from the oxygen in your lungs to the iron in your blood, is a gift from those stars. But the universe's story does not end there. From the ashes of those first stars, a whole new chapter opens, a chapter of diversity, of sun systems, strange planets, and mysteries we still do not fully understand today. We have passed through cosmic inflation, the period when everything expanded faster than light. We witnessed the moment photons separated from matter, leaving the veil of the CMB that blankets the cosmos like a remnant of primordial warmth. And now, the journey brings us to the most majestic yet quiet moment of the entire 13.8 billion years of existence. The moment the universe began to take shape. In absolute darkness, where no star had ever existed, the early universe was only a sea of cold hydrogen, floating helium, and the shadow of dark matter. No color, no points of light, no surfaces to reflect brightness. But in a very natural, almost meditative way, gravity began to gather small clumps of matter together, not with an explosion, not with a great impulse, but by the slow coming together of time. Dark matter, invisible but gravitational, formed invisible molds, gentle dents in space, like valleys inviting gas and dust to fall in. Hydrogen flowed toward those valleys, spun, condensed, heated, and then the first galaxies appeared. Not the bright spiral of our Milky Way, but small, primitive, dense galaxies filled with hot gas. They looked like faint specks in an endless ocean, yet they were the foundation for everything that followed. Large galaxies, brilliant stars, planets, seas, and finally life. Galaxies became nurseries, and inside them matter continued to fall into gas clouds. The result? The universe's first stars, population 3, began to ignite. But they were not like the stars we know today. They were larger, hotter, brighter, and lived far shorter lives than any star we see now. They burned so fiercely they lit up the surrounding space, waking the universe from a sleep that had lasted hundreds of millions of years after the Big Bang. The presence of those first stars was like the first lamps being switched on in an infinitely dark room, and it was they, by their brilliant deaths, who changed everything. The first stars lived fast, not billions of years like the Sunday, but only a few million years, a blink in cosmic time. When their fuel ran out, they exploded in supernovae so powerful they shook the space around them. In that bursting instant, where pressure and temperature reached unimaginable levels, the first heavy elements were born. Carbon, the element of life; oxygen, the element of breath; nitrogen, the element of DNA; iron, the heart of rocky planets; and dozens of other elements. Those materials shot out into space, sowing seeds for everything that would come later. Without the first stars, without their endings, there would be no Earth, no oceans, no forests, no breath in your lungs, no story at all. We literally were born from the corpse of a star. That makes each person's existence a strangely soft miracle. After those first stars spread heavy elements, subsequent generations of stars began to form smaller, more stable, more varied. Small galaxies merged with other small galaxies to make larger ones. Larger galaxies merged with still larger ones. The universe is a flow of mergers. Gases whirl into each other. Stellar streams weave together. Gentle collisions happen on timescales of billions of years. A galaxy is not a static object. It is a living flow, always changing, always moving, always swallowing and releasing. Within those galaxies, trillions of stars compose their own songs, stretching over tens of billions of years. As second and third generations of stars formed, the amount of heavy elements in the universe became sufficient to create more complex structures. From the rotating clouds of gas around young stars, tiny dust grains stuck together became rocks, then larger bodies, and finally planets. From the elements made in supernovae, carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron, planets like Earth were born. A planet is a slow sculpture of time, from dust to rock, from rock to world, from world to life. And life, as the narrator will whisper, is simply the light of dead stars taking a new chapter. The most beautiful thing in this chapter is not the scientific information. It is the peace hidden beneath it. The universe is not in a hurry. It does not scramble. It is not impulsive. It makes stars, then lets them die. It forms galaxies, then lets them collide. It forges heavy elements, then lets them become planets and life. All of it runs to a soft rhythm, like the invisible breath of space. And every time we lift our eyes to the sky, we look at the remnants of billions of stellar hearts that once beat. When the first stars exploded, they did more than light the space. They laid the groundwork for the beauty you live in today. Every atom in your body, from the oxygen in your lungs to the iron in your blood, is a gift from those stars. Air, and then, like a continuous smooth current. But the universe's story does not stop there. From the ashes of those first stars, a whole new chapter opens of diversity, of solar systems, odd planets, and mysteries that even today we do not fully understand. After the listener has been walked through the beginning history of light, where the first stars were kindled from primordial dark, the video leads them into a broader land where beauty and ferocity are woven as two sides of the same cosmic heartbeat. Here, the universe is no longer only peaceful pinpricks of light. It becomes a symphony where the high notes are enormous explosions and the low notes are the silent shifts of invisible energy. In that shifting rhythm, the voice softens, as if taking the listener's hand, guiding them through the doorway of wonder without making them afraid, but making them feel small in a way that lightens the heart. Quasars are introduced as the brightest lighthouses that have ever existed. They are blazing hearts in the centers of ancient galaxies, fed by the furious appetite of supermassive black holes devouring matter at astonishing rates. Imagine a light brighter than thousands of galaxies, yet confined to a region smaller than our solar system. Any matter that comes too close is shredded into light, twisted into white-blue plasma streams, then flung into space at speeds near light. That light has crossed tens of billions of years to reach human eyes, tiny creatures living on a speck of cosmic dust. But when told in a lullaby voice, quasars are no longer terrifying. They become a distant pulse, like an ancient breath, echoing into the present, reminding us that light can live longer than the galaxies that birthed it. From this ferocity, the video gently slides into another spectacle, no less spectacular but softer in tone, like moving into a new movement of the music. Not every death is an end. Some are a beginning. A supernova, a stellar explosion, is described like a fire bloom opening in space. When a large star burns through its fuel, it collapses under its own gravity, and then erupts into light so bright it can outshine its entire galaxy. In those few fleeting seconds, heavy elements iron, gold, silver, iodine, uranium are compressed and created, flung across the cosmos like notes of creation. The iron in your blood was born from the death of a star. The gold on your ring is the residue of an explosion that happened before Earth existed. They become part of the universe, carrying the dust of distant suns. After the mind is still filled with the dazzling light of a supernova, the video transitions like a breeze into another scene still, but majestic in its own way. Black holes are not portrayed as monsters. Under the lullaby voice, they are mixing wells of time, where familiar laws begin to blur. If you approach a black hole, time for you will slow, to the point where a minute could last longer than a century. The viewer is led to imagine light bent around a black hole's edge, creating a perfect ring of light, an Einstein ring, like a ring of light the universe accidentally wears. The strangest thing is not destruction, but the absolute silence of a black hole. They emit no light, no sound, only a region of space where time runs differently. And then, from that dark place, The narrator opens a point of balance, a gentle contrast, the softest light in the universe. From the dark black hole, the listener is brought to a sky ablaze with nebulae-colored pink, purple, blue, and gold, swirling like ink-wash paintings of the cosmos. Nebulae are where stars are born, where light has a new beginning. These giant clouds of dust and gas, stretched across hundreds of light years, glow faintly like smudges of ink. They move so slowly that the eye cannot notice, but over millions of years they contract, cohere, and ignite into youthful suns. Nebulae are like dreams crystallizing into reality, and in this way, the universe keeps growing from the ashes of dead stars. The death of one star is the birth of another. The universe never stops renewing. When black holes collide, space ripples like a pond. Gravitational waves, ripples in space-time, are described as invisible rings spreading through the cosmos. They are so slight they can pass through you, Earth, and galaxies without leaving a trace. But sometimes, those ripples carry ancient stories of majestic deaths, violent collisions, or the merging of objects heavier than the Sunday. But after passing the violent phenomena, quasars, supernovae, black holes, gravitational waves, the video gradually settles, leaving the feeling that the universe is not merely chaotic. It is a perfect balance between destruction and rebirth, light and darkness, formation and decay, beginning and end. Everything you see in the night sky is a story about change. The universe does not stand still, but it does not hurry. It grows to the slowest of breaths. You are too. You are born, change, grow, fade, and brighten again in ways no one can see. You are part of the universe, and the universe is gently holding you. There are moments in the cosmos where light becomes so intense that every human measure becomes meaningless. The narrator softly leads us away from the gentle breaths of earlier parts, where quasars shine like ancient lighthouses, into a realm of gamma rays, explosions so powerful they can outshine the combined light of hundreds of billions of stars, but only for a flash. The story's rhythm does not change. It only deepens, darkens, and becomes stranger. Before a gamma ray burst appears, the universe gives no warning, no crack, no leaking light, only silence across millions of light years. If you look at the patch of sky where a gamma ray is about to erupt, you will see nothing but darkness. Nothing foreshadows that, in a few seconds, that spot will be brighter than a galaxy. And then, suddenly like a strong breath of space-time, the gamma burst detonates. Gamma ray bursts, GRBs, are among the highest energy phenomena science has recorded. A single explosion can emit more energy than the Milky Way does in the same moment, while lasting only seconds and from distances of billions of light years. In the infinite dark, points of light flare up like the last breath of a dying star, a flash that lasts less than a human breath, but whose energy could incinerate everything for light years if anyone stood nearby. Gamma rays are not just bright, they are unimaginable. They are the echoes of great tragedies. A massive star collapsing. When a star tens of times the sun's mass runs out of fuel, its core collapses into a black hole. In that instant, energy is compressed like a giant spring, then released as jets of gamma rays pointed into space. That is, the death of a star, the birth of a black hole, and the final song of light. This is the universe's moment of transfer. A star that burned for millions of years. Then, one silent day, no complaints, no noise, but in the moment it disappears, space ignites like the last torch of life. Two neutron stars colliding, a rare event you can count on your fingers across a whole galaxy. But when it happens, It produces gamma rays, gravitational waves, and precious elements like gold, silver, and platinum. This is where Earth's precious metals begin, in the terrible embrace of two dead stars. Unlike ordinary light, gamma rays travel straight, are not easily deflected, are not heavily absorbed, and carry traces of explosions from billions of years ago. If an observer watches, they see a tiny flash, a beam of energy racing through space, a message from a distant past. And the strangest thing, every gamma ray we observe today may have been born before the sun existed. You are looking at light older than your planet, older than every ocean, older than every dream of every creature that has ever lived on Earth. Without technology, we would not know they exist. Gamma rays are invisible to the naked eye. Observatories like Swift, Fermi, and Integral are the steel-eyed, vulnerable but patient watchers that drift in space, waiting for the universe's transient flashes. If you look up at a quiet night sky, it is only because your eyes are not strong enough to see what is happening. Every day, the universe explodes somewhere. Every minute, a star collapses. And every second, a gamma ray crosses space like a wandering soul. And this is one of the most frightening yet strangely beautiful facts. If a gamma ray burst occurred near Earth, within a few thousand light years, it could scorch the atmosphere, destroy the ozone layer, and lay the Earth bare to solar radiation. Remarkably, there are hypotheses that such an explosion once caused 70% of life on Earth to go extinct hundreds of millions of years ago. But the most beautiful thing is, although gamma rays can wipe out life, they also create the elements that make life possible. In destruction, the universe sows the seeds of new futures. Each gamma ray is a letter, a message, a page in the universe's diary from billions of years ago. When a scientist reads it, they learn the universe's age, the composition of surrounding gas, the birth of metals, the evolution of galaxies. Gamma rays are like the universe's sleepy songs. They do not try to shout, they do not seek attention, but if you place your ear close enough to space, you will hear stories told in light. Though dangerous, gamma rays are among the most beautiful, subtle, and brilliant phenomena the universe has ever made. They are moments when the universe shows us its power, its creativity, and the fragility of light. Imagine a thread-like beam of light containing enough energy to burn a galaxy. Then imagine that beam lasts only a few seconds, then vanishes forever, like a lightning flash in a cosmic rain. A fading beauty, never forgotten. A reminder that we are small but lucky to observe, that we are fragile yet persist, that in the cosmos's darkness, every human breath is also a kind of light. The universe does not try to frighten us. It only tells its own story in rays of light spanning billions of years. And when the last gamma ray disappears into the dark, we remain here, looking up, listening, and grateful to live in a storytelling universe. If gamma rays are the bursting breaths of the universe, then on the other side of them, in the deepest silence, delicate structures of space begin to form. And that is the next story. Cosmic rays are not light. They are tiny particles, invisible to the eye, carrying absurd energies, launched from the most violent events of the cosmos. Supernova explosions, distant quasars, neutron star mergers, and sometimes collisions of odd particles near black hole event horizons. They travel near light speed, cross the void, pass through gas, dust, magnetic fields, and sometimes touch your body right now, while you listen as the voice soothes like waves against rock. Every second, tens of thousands of such rays pass through you, unnoticed. They come and go, leaving no trace, like fleeting thoughts that appear, vanish, and leave a sense that we are always moving, even when still. The odd thing is, those cosmic rays carry memories of their birthplaces. They are silent messengers from corners of the universe humans will never visit. When a scientist records a cosmic ray signal, they feel like they are hearing an ancient message. I come from a place beyond your imagination. Some particles traveled more than 10 billion years before meeting you. In a sense, you are the end of their longest journey. That thought is as light as a dream. Even lying in a small room, your body is being touched by particles from places you have never seen. The universe is always present, even when you forget it. According to Einstein's general relativity, anything with mass bends space-time like placing a ball on a stretched fabric. Light always takes the shortest path, so it must curve along that bend. The universe is not flat. It resembles an ocean of dents and waves. Gravitational lensing is when the light of a distant galaxy is bent by another galaxy, creating perfect rings of light, streaks like waterfalls, or duplicated images as if the universe is reflecting itself. This is not an illusion. It is one of the most beautiful truths of physics. Space-time is elastic, and light is only a well-behaved traveler. The shape of lensing looks like a dream kept in space, where truth and illusion blend without clear boundary. A scientist who sees a perfect Einstein ring realizes it is not only a physical effect, but gravity's poem. In Hubble and James Webb images, those rings look like glowing hoops, floating in darkness, delicate, thin, but containing the history of billions of light years. When light is bent, it can follow many paths to Earth, producing multiple images of the same galaxy at different positions in the sky. Sometimes those paths differ enough that the light arrives years or decades apart. That means, when you look at those streaks, you might be seeing the universe's past at many times at once. One galaxy, one place, one story appears to you at many stages of its life. The universe whispers. Everything can exist in many ways, depending on perspective. Like humans revisiting the same memory and seeing new colors each time, like emotions shifting with the heart. Cosmic rays and gravitational lensing seem separate, one of particles, one of light. But in truth, both are the universe's handwriting. A particle tells of where it was born. Lensing tells of the space-time it passed through. A tiny particle and a photon so small they seem insignificant, yet they map the universe for human beings. They coil together, weaving endless threads that draw us closer to the truth that the universe never stands still. It always moves, always transforms, always tells stories, but with things unseen and untouchable, perceptible only by the humility of intellect. Cosmic rays are the product of cosmic violence, but their journey is so quiet, no one notices. Gravitational lensing is the bending of space-time, yet its effect is as beautiful as art. Like in life, what seems most powerful sometimes appears in the gentlest form. A painful memory can lead to compassion. A fear can become growth. An old wound can be a source of strength. The universe keeps reminding us that beauty and danger are not opposites. They are two faces of the same stream of energy. Cosmic rays traveled billions of years just to touch you. Light bent around distant galaxies just to reach your eyes. And the universe, with all its vastness, fury, and mystery, still finds ways to be present in every second you are awake. When you close your eyes, the universe does not leave you. It becomes the background, the breath, the deepest peace to carry you into sleep. Unlike the way we often imagine, a black hole is not merely a bottomless pit that swallows everything and stays silent forever. Before matter falls past the event horizon, the hopeless boundary from which nothing escapes, it is crushed, stretched, twisted into an accretion disk hotter than a stellar core. From that disk, when magnetic field lines are wound up like giant springs, needle-thin streams of matter millions of light-years long are launched. Imagine a thin thread of light, powerful enough to pierce a galaxy's center like a spear. Those are jets, cold, yet brilliant plumes, extending far beyond the galaxy that contains them. They do not escape from the black hole itself, but from the chaos around it, like the sound of a storm coming not from its eye, but from the clouds torn apart as the storm approaches. Jets are the last breath of matter before it disappears from the world we know. A single jet may be longer than 1,000,000 light years, so long that if you tried to fly from one end to the other at light speed, it would take 1,000,000 years. Imagine, our Milky Way is about 100,000 light years across. Jets can be an order of magnitude longer, and it all begins from a point smaller than the solar system. That makes jets some of the largest structures a single object in the universe can create. They are so long that if light were a word, jets would be poems stretched for millions of years. These streams of matter spread across the cosmos like quills, drawing silent lines of light no one has seen with their naked eyes. They are recognized when radio telescopes record their echoes. The strangest thing about jets is not their size but their paradox. They are most powerful when coming from the quietest place. Black holes do not shine. They make no sound. They leave no trace other than gravity. Yet that silence gathers the energy of an entire galaxy, compressing it like a sleeping world's heart, then exploding into jets, towers of light rising in space like candles on an ancient altar. No one knows for sure why jets become so powerful. Although equations circle around the event horizon, there is still something unseen, a missing piece without a name. There are mysteries science can only stand and watch, like we look at moonlight reflected on water and can't touch. We often think black holes only destroy, but jets tell another story, the story of rebirth. When jets fire, they trigger star formation, compressing gas and dust into dense regions. They reshape a galaxy like an artist stirring colors on an enormous canvas. They seed the space between galaxies with matter, carrying heavy elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, that will form planets, oceans, and eventually life. From the deepest dark, jets sow light. From the harshest gravity, they create future life. The illumination from jets is a human paradox of the universe. Things that seem to swallow all hope are the places that create new light. In the endless silence of space, black hole jets are like never-ending poems, written in light, read by gravity, and whose endings no one has heard. Space has no sound, but it has rhythm. No wind, but it has flow. No song, but columns of light rise like musical notes stretching millions of years. Jets are a symphony without sound, but one that resonates in the imagination. After traversing jets, icons of power and renewal, the narrator gently guides the listener back to the familiar lullaby rhythm. Space seems to return to calm. The light seems to fade. Motion slows as if the universe took a long breath. And when those streams fade into darkness, the universe returns to itself peaceful, vast, and waiting. Because behind every violent thing, there is a soft moment. And behind every grand spectacle, there is an even greater secret waiting to be seen. There are moments in the journey of exploring the universe when the listener feels as though drifting through a transparent door where the boundary between out there and where we stand blurs and melts. This is the transitional passage. The video gently reminds us that Earth is not an isolated oasis, not a lonely island amid an infinite cosmic ocean. On the contrary, every breath of the universe flows through us. Every distant heartbeat leaves its mark where we live. Every motion out there touches each cell, each leaf, each drop, each cloud. The universe does not merely surround Earth. The universe passes through Earth like an invisible river, flowing through every mineral, every layer of soil, every living thing, and even through our bodies. Right now, as you lie listening to these words, a few hundred cosmic rays are striking you each second. They cause no harm, no pain. They are just tiny particles from the most violent depths of the universe, misplaced into the Earth. Cosmic rays, not light, are charged particles carrying energies impossible to recreate in labs. They come from supernovae, neutron star collisions, jets from supermassive black holes, and sometimes unknown sources. When they hit Earth's atmosphere, they create showers of particles in visible cascades falling down. Those particles pass through clouds, mountains, houses, bodies, as if they do not belong to this world but have been here since primordial times. Science shows cosmic rays may affect cloud formation by seeding condensation nuclei, meaning Earth's weather is partly influenced by star explosions millions of light years away. Perhaps the white clouds you see on the evening sky began from the brilliant death of a star at the galaxy's far edge. Do you feel something? A tiny, quiet motion? That is a neutrino, the universe's ghost particles passing through you. Neutrinos are among the universe's greatest wonders. They carry no charge, have almost no mass, interact negligibly with matter. Each second, roughly 100 trillion neutrinos pass through your body. They pass through without stopping, without leaving traces, like silent guests from supernovae, from the sun's core, and from mysterious processes at the edge of space-time. We will never sense neutrinos with our senses. They cannot be seen, touched, or heard. Thus, they are like the breath drifting among the stars, a miracle that needs no witness. Even when you lie in absolute stillness, you are never truly alone. You are always being touched by the universe. This sentence warms the listener, strangely not with loneliness at their smallness, but with the feeling of being wrapped by the ancient layers of cosmic history. The universe does not only send us particles, it sends rhythms. Cosmic pressure quietly influences crystal activity in Earth's crust, magnetic cycles, decay rates of some particles, even the biological rhythms of living beings. Some studies suggest when the sun is active, human emotions and heart rates shift, as though we are small waves in a great sea. That does not mean you are controlled. It means your body remembers that it came from stars, from space dust, from primitive nuclear reactions. Humans, with all their thoughts, joys, and dreams, are echoes of the universe. Not in poetic metaphor alone, but in simple physics. We are direct descendants of stars. Earth is like a flower blooming in the galactic wind. When cosmic rays are strong, lightning increases. When the sun flares, auroras blossom. When magnetic fields fluctuate, migratory animals change course. When galactic winds clear a path, stardust may drift closer to the solar system. Even Earth's climate, seemingly entirely local, is influenced by the Milky Way's motion through denser or thinner regions of matter. In other words, the universe is Earth's silent companion, a companion that speaks not, obstructs not, and never leaves. It simply passes through us with billions upon billions of photons, ghostly particles, and invisible forces. You might not feel it now, but when you inhale, you are taking in the breath of worlds that perished long ago. When you exhale, you leave a tiny trace into space the universe will carry forever. A soft, yet deep reminder: we do not stand outside the universe. We lie within it. We are woven from it. We are drifting with it. And so, the most beautiful thing is, you don't have to fully understand the universe to feel it. Close your eyes, relax, and allow yourself to merge with the invisible breath flowing through all life. And when you realize Earth is embraced by streams of distant energy, you begin to see that everything in the universe is a continuing story. A story told by light, particles, and silence. Now, let us go deeper, to where light is born, to where the first stars flare, to when time was young. Let us continue the journey. There are moments in exploring the universe when the listener suddenly realizes we are not standing apart to admire the night. We are living inside it. Streams of information, energy, and ancient traces still pass through each of our cells, a reminder that the human body and the universe are never separate. Ancient light that spread across space still reaches us. That light was emitted 8 billion years ago, when the universe was young and had just cooled enough for photons to escape the dense plasma fog. That light, the cosmic microwave background, CMB, is not visible to the naked eye, but is a thin blanket covering space-time, the echo of the first dawn. It passes through us continually, slipping through gaps between atoms. With a sensitive enough instrument, we could hear that breath of the ancient universe, a whisper lasting tens of billions of years, stubborn as the lingering warmth of a fire that has gone out. The light does not stare at us. It merely passes lightly, but its presence proves we live within a bigger picture than any knowledge. From that primordial light come the existence of gigantic magnetic fields, spanning galaxies, invisible rivers weaving the order of space. We are used to thinking magnetic fields only exist on Earth or around little bar magnets on a desk. But the universe operates beneath magnetic threads, thousands of light-years long filaments, without color, shape, or smell, yet supporting structures of gas, dust, and plasma. They steer cosmic rays, they sculpt galactic arms, they channel hot gas into silk-like streams, and they pass through Earth through the atmosphere, touching our bodies, and then continue onward, as though we are only a temporary dock on their endless voyage. In the darkness between stars, these magnetic fields are not silent. They oscillate and vibrate, creating subtle motions in the sea of matter. In a sense, they are the universe's pulse, an invisible circulation that we are only beginning to understand. We do not only look at the universe, we live in it. That phrase is like a warm breath in the night, erasing the distance between humans and the starry sky. In truth, the universe is not something outside us. It is what passes through us, and we are within it every second, every minute. When you sleep, neutrinos silently flow through your body. When you breathe, the galactic magnetic field still cradles the solar system. When you look at the night sky, the light you see may have left its star before humankind existed. When you place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat, remember that the atoms in your body, carbon, oxygen, iron, were forged in the cores of stars that died billions of years ago. You are not the audience of the universe. You are its result. You are a small note in a symphony spanning the history of time. If galactic magnetic fields pass through us, if ancient light touches us, if ghostly neutrinos pass through Earth as though it were transparent, then are we truly separate from the universe? Or are we just a small wave on the ocean of space-time? If we shrink a human to the microscopic scale, we see every atom in the body, mostly empty, tiny, luminous points in the void, like a galaxy in the universe. And if we enlarge the brain to cosmic scale, we notice its neural network oddly resembles the cosmic web nodes, connecting filaments, voids, and flows of impulses traveling like light across filaments. It is no coincidence the universe's structure resembles the structure of consciousness. Both are manifestations of information spreading, connecting, striving to persist in a sea of chaos. You and the universe are not separate. You are a small chapter in its great story. Instead, people feel embraced as if the universe is not a cold void, but an infinite dark blanket, where every speck of dust, every beam of light, every breath belongs. The Milky Way, where we live, is not a stationary flower in the dark. It spins, drifts, and sails through the cosmic ocean, at speeds beyond everyday comprehension. We, you and I, travel with it at over 800,000 kilometers per hour, while our feet remain on the ground. Every breath, every blink, happens while the planet, the solar system, and the whole galaxy drift like a giant ship through a black sea. You are not standing still. You never have been. From birth, you have traveled with the Milky Way through a boundless universe. That moment is like a whisper opening a door. Suddenly, all things once thought still the night. The constellations become a flow. The stars you see each night do not merely light up, they move. They follow ancient orbits, carved by gravity, moving silently like a minute hand on an invisible cosmic clock. Our Milky Way takes about 225 million years to complete one rotation around its center. That means since the dinosaurs, Earth has completed only one trip around the galaxy. Human civilization? Just a speck of dust on that path, barely leaving a scratch on the enormous map of time. Not only the Milky Way moves, but neighboring groups, the Virgo cluster and the Laniakea supercluster, all drift slowly toward a mysterious thing called the Great Attractor. We do not see it. We do not understand it. We cannot explain why it draws thousands of galaxies toward itself. But somehow, the universe pulls us along, and we can only watch, listen, and stay silent before such a gentle mystery. And then, like a musical note echoing through space, the narrator asks, if everything is in motion, where will all this go? The question does not aim to make the listener anxious, but to widen their view. The future is not a closed answer. It is open space, where imagination can rest and fly. The story continues, describing the Milky Way approaching the neighboring Andromeda galaxy, a sister 2.5 million light-years away. The two are rushing together at about 110 kilometers per second. But their meeting is not destruction. It is more like a slow dance spanning billions of years. Stars will rarely collide. Instead, their orbits will twist like ribbons of silk. The night sky in some far future will no longer look as it does now. It will be filled with new arcs of light, streams of stars, flowing like luminous rivers. And in billions of years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will merge into a new galaxy, Milkomeda, a kingdom of stars born from the peaceful merger of two grand spirals. We will not be there to see it, but the atoms in your body will continue their journey. They will fly, drift, mingle into stardust, and be reborn in new stars. You, in some sense, will still travel. It is an image so gentle it becomes nearly meditative. Not destruction, but a cycle of galactic rebirth, a long, slow breath of time. You drift in a silent tone stretching from the dawn. You carry carbon from dead stars. You are ancient light, shining through your eyes. You are part of the galaxy's journey, and the galaxy is part of you. When realizing that, the mind grows quiet, as if all the day's worries slip off the edge of consciousness and dissolve into the boundless space. You remain with breath, heartbeat, and the universe's gentle flow. You are not lost in the universe. You are being carried gently by movements larger than anything you have known. Close your eyes and let your body drift along the galaxy's voyage. When we look up, everything seems perfectly still. Twinkling stars, the pale swath of the galaxy, and the deep darkness between them. Yet it is hard to imagine that all that our entire galaxy is moving at speeds our senses cannot detect, over 800,000 kilometers per hour. With that speed, the Milky Way, 100,000 light-years wide, drifts like a giant ship in the cosmic sea, silent, patient, and nearly imperceptible. Every star, planet, and cloud of dust in the galaxy moves together like specks of light on an ancient wheel we only partially understand. We ride a cosmic wave without noticing, and that wave carries us to a grand encounter. All galaxies move not randomly, but following great gravitational currents beyond human imagination. At 5 million light-years, another galaxy looks back at us with its trillions of stars. Andromeda, our giant, beautiful, mysterious neighbor. Between us and Andromeda is not a static void, but a journey drawing closer each second, because Andromeda is rushing toward us at roughly 400,000 kilometers per hour. This is not a collision in the way humans know. No blasts, no fiery impacts. There is no sound in the vacuum, and the distances between stars are such that 99% of stars will not actually touch. This is a dance, not an explosion. A dance that lasts billions of years. In 4 billion years, the Milky Way will merge with Andromeda. Not the end of the world, not a catastrophe. Rather a transformation of space, like two rivers, slowly joining into one. When the two first pass each other, Earth's night sky, if Earth still exists, will no longer be dark. It will blaze with billions of stars from another galaxy pouring into our sky. Spiral arms will be stretched, bent, shattered, and reborn into clouds of gas and light. Gas clouds between the galaxies will collide, compress, and give birth to new generations of younger, brighter, more powerful stars like a cosmic spring. In the dark, supermassive black holes at the centers of the Milky Way and Andromeda will orbit each other, draw nearer, and eventually merge. When that happens, gravitational waves will ripple through space like the deep echoes of time. The whole process unfolds in absolute silence. We are beings on a small planet, in a galaxy moving through the infinite. But smallness is not frightening. It is beautiful in its own way, because it reminds us that we belong to something much larger. Oh, if every photon has traveled billions of years to touch you, if every neutrino passing through your body started from the death of a distant star, then the merger of two galaxies is just another chapter in the long book of the universe, and you are in it. And even when two galaxies merge, the universe will continue to breathe, to expand, to change in ways we are only beginning to understand. For every motion of the universe, from ancient light to galaxy births, leads to the story we are about to explore next. The universe in the era of the last stars, the distant future when light fades away, or gentle truths about how time, energy, and space weave together. All things drift, glide, collide, dissolve, and merge. We often imagine galactic collisions as violent wrecks, cinematic explosions, but the truth is much softer. Two galaxies can take billions of years to approach, and billions more to entwine, stretching into ribbons of stars as thin as celestial silk. They do not blow up, they dance. In that dance, stars rarely meet. Distances between them are so vast you could fit millions of solar systems in between. The only true collision is gravity, an invisible force that draws the whirlpools together like two meeting streams. And in that process, death goes hand in hand with fertility. Gas clouds compress and birth new stars. Old stars are drawn into the centers, fall into black holes. Spiral arms are torn away, becoming bridges between galaxies. A twisting spin lasting 500 million years, a touch of light lasting 1 billion years, a melting into a new galaxy, younger, larger, more beautiful. And among all these dances, the listener is reminded, our Milky Way is dancing that same dance. That dance has a name, Milkomeda, the future galaxy, where the Milky Way and Andromeda become one. Not violent, not destructive. Simply the continuation of movements that have been happening since the dawn of the universe. When speaking of the future of every galaxy, the narrator gently raises a bigger question. Where will it all go? Gravity pulls galaxies together, but another force, stronger, quieter, continually pushes everything apart. Dark energy. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody sees it. Nobody measures it directly. We only know it makes up about 70% of the universe, and it causes space to expand at an accelerating rate. As if the universe exhales more strongly, more lightly, increasingly away from itself. If dark energy continues accelerating, galaxies will drift apart forever until the night sky becomes empty. No spirals, no neighboring galaxies, only sparse points of stars, like a long night with no memory. If it changes, the universe could slow and crunch back, creating a big crunch, a silent finale before another big bang. Or perhaps dark energy is just a temporary phase of a long cycle, like the universe's breath, expanding, then contracting. Science does not yet know what will happen, but that not knowing makes the universe gentle. This is no longer knowledge, but meditation, not facts, but feeling, a lullaby, that we and all the stars drift in movements larger than our worries, a motion without hurry, without rage, without needing a conclusion. As galaxies seek each other and dark energy weaves the universe's fate, each motion is part of a larger story, and that journey continues in light, darkness, and endless pauses. Before stars, planets, and even light existed, there were very small ripples. Those faint oscillations are where our story began. In the early cosmic background, when the universe was only a few 100,000 years old, light and matter were intertwined, hot and dense like a sea of fire. As the universe cooled enough for electrons and protons to form atoms, light was freed, escaping the opaque fog for the first time. That light is the CMB, the first note that never dies. But the miracle lies in the tiny fluctuations in the CMB differences of only 1 part in 100,000 in temperature. Those minute variations, seemingly insignificant, are in fact the seeds of every structure, the seeds of every galaxy, the seeds of where we live. From denser spots, gravity pulled matter together to form the first drops in a chaotic ocean. From less dense regions, space swelled, leaving enormous voids. Those tiny temperature variations are where the universe's future was first written and where your story begins. If not for those slight asymmetries, the universe would be perfectly smooth and utterly dull. No stars, no planets, no carbon, no life. A perfectly smooth universe would be completely empty. Small imperfections, long ago, are the reason you exist today. Imperfection is the reason for beauty. After mapping the deep origin of cosmic structure, the video softly introduces an even more mysterious discovery. The CMB is not only ancient light, it is a map of time woven with patterns of hot and cold, light and dark. If you look at the CMB, you are looking at the wall of time. Nothing is older. No light comes from farther away. Scientists keep decoding the patterns on this map. The ripples and bright and dark spots carry information about primordial matter density, the rate of expansion, neutrino formation, signs of inflation, and even hints of a multiverse. Some unusually large fluctuations, like the cold spot, make cosmologists wonder whether our universe once touched another. Maybe our universe touched another like 2 water droplets meeting in the dark. That touch remains here, in the light you see. After each layer of analysis, the narrator weaves a thread of meditation. When you look up at the night sky, you are not just looking at the stars. You are looking at messages sent billions of years ago. The light from the galaxies you see tonight left before Earth existed, before the sun was born, when the universe was still a young adolescent in cosmic dark. That ancient light is like glass bottles, carrying messages, drifting through the ocean of time, and by chance, arriving at us at just this second. The CMB is the oldest of those letters. Stars at a galaxy's edge are middle-aged letters, and sunlight is an 8-minute-old message. The video describes them as a sacred archive. Every photon is a particle of memory. At this point, the video moves from cosmology towards symbolic meaning while staying grounded in science. The carbon in your body was once forged in a star. The light that enters your eyes began its journey billions of years ago. You do not merely live in the universe, you are part of its history. The shift invites the viewer not just to observe, but to feel the link between themselves and the vastness. The CMB, the oldest light, and humans, the thinking matter, meet in a quiet night. Though the CMB has been studied for decades, it still contains mysteries. Why are some regions too hot or too cold? Is our universe inhomogeneous? Did inflation really happen? Has the universe switched on and off many times? Is ancient light hiding traces of higher dimensions? Not every light needs decoding now. Some things are more beautiful as mysteries. From the CMB, the video gently explains how ancient light guides all cosmic research. Through it, we know the universe's age, dark matter density, expansion rate, space-time shape, when the first stars lit, and how galaxies formed. Ancient light is not merely light. It is the universe's instruction manual, and it still reaches us every second, every minute, a whispering wave passing through rooms, bodies, and skies. The ancient light is still here, around you, in you, a reminder that you were born from things very far, very old, and very silent. And that light has crossed billions of years, countless dark regions, thousands of galaxies, and voids colder than death to arrive right here, right now, as you lie, listening. When you sleep, remember you lie beneath a sky that contains the history of everything. That ancient light is still singing softly, and in that light is your story, unveiling the secrets the light has carried for 8 billion years, across darkness, supernovae, giant gas clouds, and finally into our tiny eyes. That is the polarization of ancient light, tiny, faint swirls hidden in every CMB photon. These patterns are invisible to the naked eye, but contain the universe's greatest whispers. Polarization, when light keeps a memory of space's motion, is not a change of color or ordinary scattering. It is like light being pulled slightly aside, twisting a little, bearing a very fine imprint, a trace left after space-time itself trembled. The narrator describes polarization as silver threads, like an insect's dawn silk with dew attached. Fragile but real, making the listener feel as if touching something both ancient and alive. Among polarization patterns, there is one especially sought for decades: the footprint of primordial gravitational waves. The tiny swirls in the ancient light, called B modes, are considered evidence of space-time's own tremors, at 10 to the power of -35 seconds after the Big Bang. Those ripples were so strong, they inflated the universe and left tiny vortices in the light's pattern. If those swirls truly exist, then we are seeing the echo of the very first strike, the moment the universe woke. It is like seeing small waves on a lake and understanding a rock fell long before we were born. Primordial gravitational waves differ from the waves LIGO detected today. They do not come from merging black holes or collapsing neutron stars. They come from the fabric of space-time, turning in the very first instant, Before matter, light, or atoms existed, they are the universe's first heartbeat. Those traces have been preserved for 13.8 billion years, carrying the rhythm of what occurred before the first galaxies formed. But those traces are not always easy to find. Space expands, matter interferes, dust intrudes, and polarization becomes like a whisper in a blizzard, hard to hear, but not lost. For years, scientists have set telescopes in the Atacama Desert, on Antarctica's ice, where the air is so still one could hear the light's heartbeat. They listen to that tiny tremor, and whenever a signal appears, they ask, is this the echo of the beginning, or merely wind? It tells us where galaxies are, where dust lies, how dark matter distributes, how curved space-time is, and whether human theories hold true. It is like an ancient song written with notes too small for the ear, yet perfect when revealed in light. When ancient light recounts the first tremors, it also leads us to the origin of galaxies, the first specks of light, igniting in absolute darkness. From the tiny fluctuations like the newborn universe's hiccup, to the grand shining spots of the first stars, the story goes on, each layer unfolding slowly, like a flower in the night, the fragile remnant of a universe, learning to breathe for the first time. There are things science cannot decode, not due to complexity, but because we have only one universe to observe. This is the moment when all sounds seem collected into a very faint breath. Unlike biology with millions of specimens to compare, or chemistry that can repeat experiments at will, we have only one universe. No test version, no second sample. Every observation is unique and incomparable. If we see a cold patch in the CMB, we do not know whether it is law or chance. If the universe expands faster or slower, we cannot test in another universe. If constants seem finely tuned, we cannot know whether elsewhere constants differ. The universe is a single remaining book. From primordial times we read it, but can never know how many pages are missing. This is cosmic variance, a profound randomness that limits human knowledge. Perhaps the unknowable is part of the miracle. Space is infinite, but our understanding is finite. Even the strongest telescopes only hear faint echoes of the dawn. Beautiful equations must stop at black hole boundaries where time shatters. Each measurement is tinted by our location in the universe, by how we exist within the stream of our own light. We do not know whether the universe is infinite or merely vastly large. We do not know why it came into being. We do not know why its constants appear tuned, such that life can arise. But rather than being heavy, the story becomes a meditation. The less we know, the gentler the universe seems. At this quiet climax, the video no longer tries to explain the universe. It invites the listener to sit in the gentle darkness of uncertainty. Not knowing everything is not failure. Not understanding fully is not weakness. It is part of humanity's silent journey. And, like night, the unknown is where sleep resides. In the immensity of the unknown, we become smaller, but the universe seems kinder. Let the next step lead you to stories about the future, the galaxy's journey, the evolution of light, and where every large and small motion leads. There are stretches of the universe that force one to pause not from overwhelm, but from the feeling of seeing one's origin. This is such a passage. After parts about ancient light, space-time ripples, and human limits, the voice slows, as if touching a quieter, closer chapter. A galaxy turns and shines, but within it, another delicate story plays out. The story of dust. Not ordinary dust, but star dust, remnants of fires that once burned hot enough to shake space-time. In seemingly empty space, giant clouds of gas float. They slowly contract over time, like the universe's long breath. In those clouds, dust and gas collide and cling by gravity. At first, they are thin filaments, vague clumps. Then they begin to spin, condense, and heat, until, in a moment witnessed by no one, a star ignites. No noise, no fireworks, just a burst of light, quiet but powerful enough to shape billions of years of history. Thus, countless tiny dust grains become the hearts of new suns. In the quiet of space, we realize the smallest things create the largest lights, but all lights end. When a star runs out of fuel and its core compresses to an unbearable point, the universe witnesses one of the most beautiful and ruthless movements: collapse. A large star ends its life in a supernova, bright enough to outshine a galaxy. In that instant, the star's inner matter is compressed, smashed, then flung into space. Carbon building blocks of cells, oxygen the breath of life, nitrogen the foundation of DNA, iron in our blood, gold, silver, platinum, precious metals, all formed in a few seconds of cosmic death, a death that opens countless lives. Dust from dead stars slowly mingles and drifts across millions of light years. They are the seeds of new galaxies, new planets, and later, thinking beings. When dust clouds begin orbiting a young star, they do not float idly. They collide, stick, grow. Tiny millimeter rocks become boulders. Boulders merge into solid bodies. From them come planets, moons, asteroids, new worlds with unique destinies. And one of those worlds is Earth. Not a wonderful planet from the start, but a hot, red, lifeless globe with no seas, no sky, no life. Yet inside its rocks lie stellar elements, and given time, they combine to create life. We often imagine ourselves as observers outside the universe, lonely watchers. But the truth is kinder. We are the universe in thinking form. We are stardust, arranged into hearts, brains, memory, and dreams. In our blood is iron once blazing in ancient stellar cores. In our bones is calcium born from supernovae. Every breath we take once circled a star billions of years ago. We do not merely look up at the sky. We were made from it. You are not a product of Earth. You are a product of the universe of stars that died so you could live. We begin to understand that the journey of cosmic dust is not just a tale observed from afar. It is the history of our bodies. Every carbon atom in you once lived in a star. Every element in your body once belonged to primordial dust. Every breath is a breath that crossed millions of light years. We are the result of unseen movements, unobserved explosions, stars that flared and faded long before Earth formed. You do not merely belong to Earth, you belong to the universe. And then, after all the blazing quasars, the vast dark regions, the streams of particles passing through our bodies each second, the story returns to its beginning. You, not as a small, isolated person before an infinite cosmos, but as part of its heartbeat. You are not simply an observer here. You are a piece of it from long before you had a name. The atoms resting in your body once flared in the hearts of giant stars, drifted through cold space, coagulated into dust, rock, and water, and then one day combined into you, a temporary consciousness that knows it is alive. You are the next chapter of the universe's story, a story still being written in light, movement, and dreams. Outside your window, the universe continues to expand by the second. Light still travels across unimaginable distances, and you very quietly float in the gentle ocean of time like a leaf on a boundless river. Sleep deeply and dream dreams as light as stardust.